Mr. Jaitley, essentially what are you now going to do? You have a situation where you can't live by ordinance on this bill. Will you call? You know, December 31st last year, I think the President gave assent to your land ordinance. Now, majority is totally against you in the Rajya Sabha, Mr. Jaitley. You concede, you know, where the ordinance will lapse. You decide to prorogue the Rajya Sabha on March 28th. And you re-promulgate the ordinance for a second time.
There are only two questions.
What are you going to do?
There are only two
How long will you
There are only two questions which arise. The first question is, does Indian farmer and rural India live perpetually in poverty as per the 2013 law? Or do we create an infrastructure, industrialization of those areas or not? That's the first question. I am convinced we have to change it. If we have to change it, you need to have a change in the law. The change in the law is very simple, that you can pass it in the Lok Sabha, which we can. You probably will face obstructions in the Rajya Sabha, probably we will. And then there is a constitutional mechanism. We will try and adopt any good suggestion in the Rajya Sabha if it comes. But if it doesn't come, then whatever is the procedure prescribed in the constitution will follow.
Which is what?
The procedure prescribed is then you go for a joint session.
It's open
I hope we don't have to go to that extent.
If you're looking at it?
I hope, but that is the constitutional provision.
Well, there is a clear, by the way, Mr. Jaitley, this is the either-or kind of situation you're presenting. Your argument essentially, if I were to counter
if I pass it in the Rajya Sabha, I don't have to go to the joint session.
You can't pass it in the Rajya Sabha.
If I can't pass it, then let the constitutional process operate itself. Then you will have only two things. Either it's passed by a joint session or it's rejected by a joint session. Or I withdraw it after the Rajya Sabha.
So you are the only two options. So you're very open to a joint sitting to push this through.
I am open to any good suggestion to improve the bill, and therefore I will try and pass it in the Rajya Sabha.
But you are not making any changes to these basic arguments which are being made
because my friends in the opposition are not giving any constructive suggestions. They are talking without having read the bill, most of them.
It appears to me you've made up your mind for a joint sitting.
Well, you are entitled to your own conclusion.
But it's an option you're looking at.
The option is provided in the Constitution. This is not the first joint session. This won't be the last joint session.